Okay, welcome back. We're now going to complete the actual, excuse me fiddling with the camera, I'm now going to complete the actual electrical tests on the actual cable itself. The first test we'll be doing, and I've written out a little test sheet, and the test sheet that I've got in front of me here is the test that we'll be completing, but this test sheet will be form part of your prac. So all the details of the tests, other than the tests themselves, will actually be on that sheet, and all you will have to do is actually fill those tests taken into the sheet. And you may need some guidance with this, so do not be afraid to ask when you get to this point in the practical exercise. So the first test that I'm doing is the continuity test from the source, which is the bottom end, to the power point pins. We're going to be doing active to active, earth to earth, and neutral to neutral. And we'll go through that. And the meter that we're going to be using for that will be a standard multimeter. So this particular one I'll be using the JTEC yellow multimeter, and I'll have the multimeter set on resistance. Now, to get good readings with the multimeter and to test the zero of the multimeter, basically good practice once you've written it onto the correct scale, which is the resistance, which is ohms, hold the two conductors together, and we should get a reading. Hold it nice and firmly. We should get a reading floating around zero. Now, it's going to be hard to press the conductors hard onto those particular conductors easily. So what I would suggest you do, from the other meter, you will see in the excess compartment of it, you will see there's actually a screw-on clamp, and that screw-on clamp allows you to be able to use the clamp on the conductor. So if I'm doing the earth one first, which is good practice to do, always do the earth first, is to clamp the earth conductor onto one of the conductors from the multimeter in the resistance test, and use the jaws to clamp it on there. Then that's nice and firm. And we'll see our conductor is also going to be too big to go into the pins of the power point. So we've got to solve that too. And an easy way to solve that, I'll just turn that off to save the battery, is to do this. We'll go over to the saw. We'll go over to the store, and there'll be a pre-prepared one of these. You can see me struggling with this now, so I'm doing it myself, but we'll get a 3-pin plug, and we'll just get the male end, because there's no voltage going through it. We can use this and plug this into the power point. This will give us the 3 conductors coming out of the power point. I'm now going to do the continuity test. So the first test that I'm doing will be the earth test. So I'll turn my meter on again, and I'll face the meter towards you. So we find the earth conductor. So I should have nothing between that earth conductor at the bottom, which you can see it's on with the green light. I should have nothing between there and the active on the left, the neutral on the right, but I should have a reading down into my earth there. And that should be very close to zero. Now these meters, I don't think they have a zeroing factor on them. You can change the range, yes. Because the quality of the meter, and it's difficult to get exactly a firm termination on all parts of the conductor, you'll find that will float a little bit. On a good quality meter, you'll find that should zero right out. You should only be measuring the insulation resistance of the conductor itself. So we've proven that to be very close to a dead short, or 0 ohms, or 0.1. I'm just going to pause it for a second, and I'm going to get you